Well, good morning for the second time. Uh, it looks like my internet is being restored as I talking. I mean, just within the last minute, I'm starting to get the ambassadors online at Skype message. So my internet is now restoring or restored, which is interesting. I'm doing a second video, and this is the title: To Protest Anything is Delusion? I need to put a question mark there. This is the second video I will record in a short time frame, 2 hours. My internet and phone are still out. You just heard it. That's no longer true. But it was when I wrote this 10 minutes ago. My routine is totally messed up. I sit here waiting, looking at pages on Facebook that were there before the outage began over 6 hours ago. I see this. Quote, to protest anything, it must be separated from the whole and rejected. This is delusion, end quote. It comes from a channeled message by Mike Silver in what he calls Heaven Letters. I have no idea who he is. What I do know is how I feel about this message. It triggered enough in me to want to warrant a second video. Yeah, anger, frustration, blasphemy. How dare anyone except an evil entity post something like that? Accept everything that is, because this is the hand of cards you've been dealt. Accept it. Don't ever protest. Don't ever try to fix anything. Don't ever try to improve anything. Can you hear the reason that I'm so upset with this idea? This is part of the New Age bullshit that's being put out and propagated in our world today by what to me can only be Luciferian or satanic or demonic elements. We're not supposed to question. That's how the police state is in America. You do what you're told. You don't question. They're creating perfect slaves that don't question anything. If it is, it must be God's will. Now, what really gets me is I'm totally against separation. Separation is the only illusion. And this is taking my basic foundational principle of whatever is separate is the illusion. And he's saying, if you're protesting, you're separating. But I'm not separating beings. I'm not separating life forms. I'm only separating right action from wrong action. And yes, that's a judgment. And I have a right to make the judgment. And if that offends God, then let God blot me out, because I don't want to be in this experiment anymore. Do you hear what I'm saying? I don't want to be part of an experiment where I just have to blindly swallow whatever comes my way and look at it as this must be the will of God. Because that doesn't fit me. It doesn't. It says the Heaven Letters, ego lacks big vision. Now, I couldn't look at that, just read the rest of the message. I don't know what else the message says. But ego lacks big vision. Yeah, you're right. A disconnected ego that only sees itself cannot connect the dots, cannot see the bigger picture. I agree with that. I agree with that. But a lot of people look at me as protesting what's going on in the world as coming from my ego. I'm sorry. It comes from my higher self, as I see it, that is not satisfied with a world of slavery, that is not satisfied with violence against other people, that is not satisfied with a world where war is prevalent and where we're taught to fight each other and duel and constantly be at war, where we don't even have the possibility of peace because of the actions of those creatures that are allowed to behave and act in a manner that violates what to me is the prime directive. Do no harm. Cause no loss. Don't violate the free will of anyone. That's a prime directive. If that's not the prime directive, and the prime directive is anything goes, everything is okay, and don't you dare raise your voice, don't you dare protest, don't you dare speak out against injustice, don't you dare do anything that would upset the apple cart. I'm sorry, that's not who I am, and it's not who I want to be ever, in any world, at any time, in any experiment. I don't approve of that. I disapprove completely of the idea that we, as sentient beings, have to simply accept whatever is and allow anybody to do anything they want and not try to protect life, not try to stand up for truth or justice or anything that inherently seems correct and seems just and seems righteous. I'm sorry. I can't accept that. Maybe you can. Maybe you New Age freaks that buy this kind of channeled bullshit from, and again, I don't know who Mike Silver is. I don't know if I've ever read anything by him before. I think I've seen Heaven Letters before. Arthur has posted them, I think, on my wall before, but this one really caught my attention. Part of the reason, because I wasn't able to be doing my normal routine of sending out birthday greetings and answering a whole bunch of emails. How many emails do I see now? I have, oh God, the amount of emails I got overnight more than doubled the amount that was in my inbox up until 11 o'clock when the power outage came. And that's just the Facebook and YouTube emails. Anyway, it's ridiculous from my point of view, this insanity of saying anything goes. And that's exactly what that means to me. To protest anything, it must be separated from the whole and rejected. This is delusion. In other words, accept anything that happens. It's all okay. It's all permitted, therefore it must be the will of God. Well, the will of that God needs to be crushed. And if that is the creator God needs to be crushed with all of his creations and let them destroy the planet, let them destroy life, let them destroy everything, because it isn't worth living in a world that is enslaved, a world where we're forced to accept and acquiesce to whatever evil agenda is on the horizon or in our life stream. I mean, it is total insanity to me. I do not accept it. This is my second message of the day. It's going to be a very short one. I'm probably going to post them all even earlier than I thought, although I'm not sure I'll post it. Yeah, I probably won't post it before I come back from the court this afternoon. In any case, I wanted to share this because it was really pressing on me, because it really irritates me, this New Age bullshit of don't make waves, of don't stand up for what's good and what's right. This stuff of just acquiesce. Silence is acquiescence. Non-protesting is acquiescence. It's saying it's okay. Arthur, I'm sorry. I don't mean any offense to you. And I don't know who the hell Mike Silver is. I don't mean any offense to him either. But this is bullshit. This comes from the pit of hell as far as I'm concerned. And I just want to get that out there and make that statement. Thank you for listening. Namaste.